Okay guys, so we are doing Sadness from Inside Out, and what we're going to do is just start by painting our whole face this light blue color. I went a little bit on the lighter side for her like face shade, but it's because I'm going to be doing shading later on to like really deepen up the color. But if you're not going to do any like shading or anything and you want to make it a little bit more simple, I'd probably go with like a slightly darker blue, not much, just a little. But I'm using the Wet n Wild paint palettes. They're super creamy and they kind of act as like a nice cream foundation if you set them really nicely, and they just have really great coverage. What's also nice is that she wears a high turtleneck, so you only have to do your face. You don't have to like paint half of your body or your torso or your chest or anything like that. So that's also super nice. After I paint her face, I do move on to her eyebrows. What's interesting about Sadness's eyebrows is that they're a little sparkly. So everything about Sadness is a little sparkly or like velvety. She's made by, I think, Disney Pixar. And so she has like a lot of texture to her. So what I did was I just filled in my natural eyebrows with like a darker blue paint. And then I went over them with some dark blue glitter. I think this is from e.l.f. But you can use any cosmetic grade glitter that's available to you. I just wanted to give the look a little bit more texture. You can't really see it in the pictures because it's covered up by her glasses, or the glasses that I'm going to wear, but I just thought that it added a nice little like texture to the look, because again, with Sadness being like a Pixar 3D movie, she's not entirely flat, but there are no like defined lines to create the character. There's just like a lot of light and shading, so it's sometimes simple and sometimes not simple to create that texture on like a human face and get it like spot on. But I think the glitter really did mimic her nice textured brows. After brows, I move on to eyes, and I don't really prime the eyes. I just smooth out what paint is already on my eyelids, and then I move in with a nice medium blue shade of eyeshadow, just again to create a little bit of depth. She doesn't actually wear any eye makeup. She's pretty like plain Jane, but again, I wanted to make sure that the look on myself was like dimensional and reflected the character. So I put like a medium blue, royal blue in my crease with a fluffy blending brush, and then I went on my lid and I used a matte light blue shade, and I just used my finger for that, and I just packed it on. Again, this just really kind of like mimics the skin texture and the skin look that she has, and I wasn't trying to do anything fancy or anything. I just really wanted to give my eyes a little bit more depth and dimension than to just look real flat and solid. Next, I'm moving on to liner, and all I do on the lower lash line, I just want to create a little bit of definition without being too harsh. So I use a dark blue eyeshadow, and I just kind of press and wiggle that into my lower lash line to again give definition without being harsh. I do my waterline with a white liner from LA Girl Cosmetics, which was amazing, their Pastel Dreams line. And then I do end up using a black liquid liner on top of my eyes for my upper lash line, because I am going to be putting lashes on, and so I want to actually just hide the lash band, and so the black line is really there just to kind of give me something to hide the lash line with. I then move on to a little bit of contouring, or really what I'm going to call for this look shading. She is a little bit more of a fuller figured character, Sadness, and so I wanted to give my face the appearance of being a little bit more wide. And so instead of doing like a harsh contour, I kind of just add a little bit of like this darker color to give my cheeks a little bit more of like a fullness to them. And again, that little bit of like a darker color. So I put it around the perimeter of my face as well. and then I blend it out with a sponge. And then I do, because I think that my dark circles and the like hollowness of my under eye bags was a little prominent, I go in with a lighter blue as well, just to again kind of bring that space forward so it doesn't look so sunken in. Blend, 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 blend. And then when you're done blending, or you got it exactly how you want it, we are setting the face. Using these Wet n Wild face paints, these cream paints, you cannot set too much. From what I've learned over the last couple years, more powder is better. You cannot set these too much. Honestly, just go in. I'm using the RCMA No Color powder, which is amazing, because once you dust it off, you really don't see it. But these cream paints from Wet n Wild need to be set, need to be set, need to be set. I can only say it so many times. Then you dust off all of that powder really, really gently and lightly. You don't really want to like disturb too much. I know I said the paint isn't going anywhere, but like, come on, you guys, don't be like too aggressive on your face. Then I'm taking that same big fluffy brush and I'm just going back in over the darker areas with a little bit of powder, just to again make them a little bit more prominent, because they do get a little dull after you put the translucent powder on top of them. Now she has this like cute little button nose and I do not, so I'm trying to contour and shade around my nose to create the illusion that I have a more rounded, turned up nose, or rather shorter nose as well. It didn't not work. I just wish I would have used a smaller brush. I do add a little bit of a highlight to the top of my nose. I then put a little bit of blush on. She does have the slightest rosy cheeks, like so barely even noticeable. So this was a little risky, but I do think it added a lot to the look in the end. Blue lips. Sadness doesn't actually even have any lips, but I thought it would look weird to not give a little bit of a darker lip. So I'm using the NYX Liquid Suede for that. And then moving on to finish the eyes, a little bit of mascara and some false lashes. After you're done with the eyes, it's on to dressing and wig. And I got this sweater at Goodwill for like $3 or $4, and it was exactly what I wanted. It was like a turtleneck sweater with not a lot of pattern or craziness to it. But the turtleneck part is a little bit loose, so I just took a clip and I clipped it in the back for like picture purposes. If you were wearing this to a party, I'm sure the loose turtleneck would be fine, but you could also sew it up too. And then I add the wig, again, super cheap wig from Amazon. This was like $9.99, I think. I will link it in the description box below, but it ended up being absolutely perfect for Sadness. This is right out of the package too. No styling, no nothing, just right out of the package, right onto my head. And as you can see, I'm just brushing through it a little bit, making sure that the bang is the way it needs to go, and making sure that it's laying perfectly and everything's hidden and whatnot. But it was like an absolute perfect wig for Sadness. So I will link it in the description box. And then after you get her hair the way you want it, I put the glasses on. I made these. For the life of me, I could not find black round rimmed glasses anywhere. So I made these out of like magic mold clay, air dry clay, and I painted them black because the clay that I had was like bright pink. And as you can see, I'm adjusting them now. They were very difficult to make. I shouldn't say that. They were easy to make, but they were hard to keep on my face. If I had to do it over again, I'd probably put wire in them so they'd be a little bit more stable. But what I did was I ended up actually lash gluing them to my nose to keep them up because I was having such a hard time keeping them up. And yeah, that worked. And then I just finished a couple of the spots that you could see the pink through. I just painted those black. And then that's it. There you have it. that was my look. Oh, you could also see my ears. I just painted the bottom of my ears so that if you saw them poking through, the illusion wouldn't be lost. But Sadness doesn't have ears, I don't think. But yeah, that's it. This is the look. This is how our Sadness came out. I will link all of the products that I used in the description box below. If you are interested, you can check them out on your own time. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big old thumbs up. As always, please be sure to subscribe and hit the little notification bell. I would hate for you to miss out on any more videos. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and happy Halloween. Stay safe.